All right, let me see. With Barnes and Smith behind the plate for the Dodgers, what does that mean for the number one prospect, Dalton Rushing, for the Dodgers? I'm going to get to that story and more. And a Japanese slugger, soon to be an MLB slugger, puts on a Dodger hat and posts it on Instagram. Sounds like kind of an interesting story if you ask me. And why the heck did the Teo signing take so long? I'll get to the bottom of that. And the Dodgers still in on Tanner Scott? What? That's still a thing. And last but not least, Bellinger talking about Kike. I want to get to that story and more. Let's get down to business. This is Dodgers Digest. Brad J with you. Hit that subscribe button. We're growing strong. Hit that like button. Turn on the notifications because I'm going to keep it coming. Okay? You can't stop me, right? I'm over here, then I'm over here. You can't stop me. All right. With Barnes behind the plate, with Smith behind the plate, both of them, I mean, Barnes obviously the backup. What does that mean for Dalton Rushing? Dalton Rushing, Dodgers' number one prospect, man. He is the man, and he's an amazing catcher. But with Will Smith in the mix, they last season tried to put Dalton Rushing in the outfield to see how that goes. I mean, is that something that's gonna happen? Because Dalton Rushing's ready to play. He's ready to hit. He's ready for Major League Baseball. So you got to wonder, how is this gonna hash out for the Dodgers when it comes down to it? So let's talk about that. Let's get into the story right there. Well, they decided, what do you do? All right. Well, let's make him an outfielder. If we can make Mookie an infielder from an outfielder, why don't we make Dalton an outfielder from a catcher? Sure, that's doable, right? But now look at the recent signing of Teoscar. Look at Conforto in the mix on that one too. Look at Tommy Baseball Edman in their 5-year deal. James Outman, who's been having some troubles. I would feel that he would be the odd man out, and no pun intended. Actually, pun kind of intended. And then Andy Pages on the 40-man roster. But if you put Dalton Rushing in the outfield and you're trying to give him some regular playing time, how is that going to work? Who does he take the place of? Will he be able to handle the day-to-day toils of being in the outfield? That's not easy. And let's get to it right now because we have the Dodgers Digest quote of the day. Quote of the day this time comes from Sonia Chen. She's from MLB. Here's what Sonia is saying about the fact that Dalton Rushing is standing in the background and he wants to be in the foreground. It's a matter of when, not if. Rushing, the Dodgers' number one prospect, makes his debut this season, giving the Dodgers another advanced bat. Now, and here's the big question. This is the burning question, right? And I don't know if you've seen him play or not. Maybe you've been to, some games or something. Maybe you've seen him, but the the question is he capable of playing the outfield after picking up the position last season? Think about it. You just start playing it last season. And I'm sure Little League, maybe high school, he played some outfield. Sure, he did, right? But you're talking Major League Baseball, and you're talking a position that's very tough to do. So where do you put Dalton? You got to bring him in the mix. He's got to be on the team. He's the number one prospect, and his bat is ready to deliver. So the Dodgers have kind of in some ways, you look at it, it's kind of a good thing that they have this going on, right? Because I mean, bet more choices better, right? But you're gonna have to figure out a way to get him in there. And I got to think that Barnes being the catcher, the backup catcher, I think at some point, I think this is probably his last season with the Dodgers, but you never know on that. All right, Japanese Slugger posts an Instagram picture with a Dodger hat on. What is going on? Munetaka Murakami is supposed to join the MLB not this next season, but the season after that. And then on Instagram, he decides that would be in his best interest to post something so people could see it. All right. And he almost breaks the internet by doing it. So his Instagram post is this. He's in the bottom right of this. And if you zoom in on the shot, Murakami's shot, he is wearing a Dodger hat. However, the Dodger logo, the LA logo, is upside down. That's been a trend that's come out, I think, since the COVID days where it's saying you're kind of against establishment a little bit. So what does that mean? I don't think we need to read too much into it, but he did play on the Baseball World Classic with Yamamoto, Ohtani, Sasaki. All four of those guys have played together. So you just got to wonder. And I'm not saying this is like, oh, news, like he's going, but look, you just got to wonder. Can you imagine all four of them, not next season, but the season after that, being on the Dodgers? Wow. All right. And then the big question is, why did the Teo signing take so long? It just seemed like, what was that, 50 days? 50 days. All right. So this is out of Teo himself and basically, manager Dave Roberts. They were trying to structure it in the best way to convince him. He's one of those people that obviously wanted to get my money, get a contract for the last 3 years, but I didn't want to give much importance to the money. And I said that from the beginning. Teo's not such the money guy. Obviously, you still want to get paid. I could have still been a free agency waiting for teams with more need now to make an offer. But as I always said, money is not the most important thing. That's straight out of Teoscar's mouth, right? And I said it from the beginning when he said that after they won the World Series. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, and sometimes the fit is sometimes better, right? Maybe the fit you're trying to look for is a different situation. I was simply waiting for them to structure the contract. And look, they deferred some money. So they did a bunch of things to make it work so he could take home a bit more because of the tax situation in California. And as someone who's paid taxes in California for so many years, he is correct on that. It was just the front office, the fans wanted Hernandez, Dave Roberts, everyone wanted it, but they were potentially thinking about moving forward without him. But Roberts said it would have been tough. It definitely would have been tough. So there you go on that right there. And then the Tanner Scott. Now, I haven't talked about the Tanner Scott thing. I don't think I've talked to it at all, but JP Morosi, MLB Network, says this. And some people have called me out and said, hey, Brad, you haven't even talked about Tanner Scott. Okay, cool. I'm going to talk about it right now. Interesting, there is one team mentioned that we're necessarily expecting to be a heavy player in the relief market, that being the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves kind of are in that driver's seat. David O'Brien reported this from The Athletic. The Braves have some serious interest in Tanner Scott. And he also feels like the Los Angeles Dodgers could make one more big-time splash. Maybe that would be the one area where they would go and add Tanner Scott from their division rivals, San Diego Padres. And I think, to do that, first of all, to slap the Padres in the face, pop, pop, just to give them a little slappy, I think that's a good thing, okay? I think they could use that. But is that – I don't think there's too much – I don't – honestly, I'm just going to go out on a limb. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Dodgers have too much uncertainty with pitchers they already have that might move into relief positions. So is that necessarily a position that you want to fill because you have you have extra starters at this point where not everyone can be a starter? If you're going to go 6-man rotation, or you're going to go 5-man rotation, if you're doing 6 like they said they are, well, if you're the 7th and 8th guy, maybe you're turned into the bullpen guy, the relief guy. So I don't know. Maybe that's the whole thing on that, but I don't think they're going to go with Tanner Scott. I don't think that is going to happen. All right. And then finally, Bellinger giving props to Kike. And Bellinger, of course, has been traded to the Yankees from the Cubs. He's over there now. He told Boone, the manager, wherever you need me to play, I'll play, Bellinger said as an introductory press conference. So in the press conference, he said this. Whether it's left, center, or if Aaron Judge gets a DH day, I'll play right. Whatever you need me, I'll play. I'll play first if you need me there. I enjoy doing that stuff. It helps me. It helps me, the team, and it helps the team win. Well, he also said, he goes on to say, I learned a lot from Kike Hernandez. That's what Belly said. He said, probably the best player I've seen at being able to roam all around the field just to be above average or to be excellent in all those positions. I don't see how it's possible. I knew that I had the ability to do it from watching him too. So Bellinger giving props to Kike, saying, look, if Kike can do it, I can do it. And look, he's kind of created himself and reinvented himself, and he's on the Yankees, so he's on a good team, even though I'm not a Yankee fan and I don't like the Yankees. Okay, so that's it. All right. And that's going to do it for Dodgers Digest. Brad J doing it right here, man. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and turn on those notifications. Always remember, though, going throughout your day, people, to just remember to think blue.